Acknowledge me.
You just made the list.
I am the B-E-S-T.
I'm better than you, and you know it. Damn.
Welcome back to Down Under the Mat podcast here in Madison Square Garage, around the pool table of relevancy. To my left, Mr. Daniel Danielson. To my right, Radio Reece. I am Booker Ted.
We're all doing the wiggle fingers.
And we're here for a Slam review for the latest Slam show, March 23rd, which was yesterday for all of you playing at home, at the Ainslie Football Club. We're back to the Ainslie Football Club.
What are they playing at home?
It's a joke, Reece. I'm going to buy you Jokes for Dummies 101, bro.
You're a joke.
Thanks, mate.
What a start.
Ainslie Football Club, back again.
Back home.
Back to the
home of
OG.
Slam.
Yeah.
OG. We're going to go through the entire card, the entire night.
Yeah.
It was an absolutely awesome night. I'm actually surprised my voice is
Except for
held
that
up.
group of idiots that were in the back corner just yelling.
Oh, down
the
your
whole
toilet.
time.
Just so annoying.
Idiots.
Like,
Man.
shut up. Bunch of wrestling.
The amount of times they tried to start a tremendous chant.
Yeah.
Oh.
I mean, I think if we,
who,
had to,
like, who?
I don't get it. I don't know why.
if we had to sum up the whole show, I'd say it was pretty tremendous.
It was tremendous.
Maybe a little bit sweet, too. A bit sweet.
Not too sweet, though.
Not too,
Not
sweet.
too sweet.
Not too sweet. Too sweet. Hey. So look, the whole night I think was quite good. The Slam shows are always good fun. The crowd was hot as always.
Yes.
Really enjoyed it as a whole. Went along really, really well. I don't know. How do you guys feel after last night? Considering you had to spend the night here, Reece.
Yeah. No,
Had a few cans?
that was planned. We got a lot of filming to do today, so
Yeah. Just
it was a conscious decision. But yeah, I feel pretty good. It was a great night last night. It was really good being back at Ainslie, though.
Yeah.
Because like we had the last show at Woden, the one before that Convention Centre, one before that was at Woden as well. So it feels like it's been a long time since we've been at Ainslie.
Yeah.
And it was kind of good to be back in the home of Slam.
It was. I always worry about the roof at Ainslie. Anyone trying to jump off the top ropes, get dead. And did you guys notice the projector that was up next to the ring?
Yes, I did.
And it was like even lower, and I was like, you can't do any moves off the ropes near that side of the ring because
There was a couple of times where
You're gonna
people
head
got on the
to
top rope, and the first thing they looked at was the ceiling. When they got on there,
Because it's just like,
how
it's
close
right
am I?
there when you get on that
Oh,
top
this is
rope.
pretty close. And we'll mention in one of the matches that the roof was actually touched at one point.
It was. Yes.
It was very, very close. So I guess we'll kick it off. We'll go through the matches. So the first match of the night, we actually had Mikey Broderick
and it was for one fall.
1-4
Right, thank you.
with a 20-minute time limit, I believe. So it was actually Mikey Broderick, the top shelf athlete, versus Dazza. My boy
he's
Dazza.
still
Your
my
mate.
top shelf
So
champion.
I was very torn with this match because I love Dazza. Absolutely love Dazza. But I'm also a big fan of the top shelf athlete, Mikey Broderick. And I'm starting to agree with him. Perth is a little bit better than Canberra.
Oh, that's a bit rough, Ted. I don't think you can go there.
I'm not being serious at all, man.
Perth's too hot.
It's too far away. It's
hot,
too
it's too
hot.
hot.
I mean, they have the Little Creatures Brewery, but that's technically Fremantle, not Perth. So, not the same place.
Same thing.
But what did you guys...
It's like how Queanbeyan's like not technically Canberra,
Don't
but
bring
it is.
Queanbeyan into this.
I mean, that's the original home of the Raiders, though, man. We've got to be
Your
careful.
Seaford Oval.
So I thought this was a really good match to start the night. We've got two really good workers.
Great way to kick it off.
match. What did you guys think?
Oh, absolutely loved it. Mikey, as always, absolute fantastic to watch in the ring.
Yep. You'd say he's tremendous.
Yeah. Is that just going to be a recurring joke this
Absolutely.
episode?
Yep.
Yeah, it was great. Mikey coming out on top, as he should. I'm not a big fan of Dazza. I'm putting myself out there.
Bogan
Wow,
Hogan.
man.
Nah.
Rude.
Dude, he is by far one of the best in-ring talents
Look,
in Australia.
That's fine. I'm
Wow, you got a thing against Bogans, I see. Okay.
No, yes.
Just because you work in the public service doesn't mean you have
No,
to have
it's,
that kind
it's
of
not
attitude,
that.
Reece.
It's not that.
all
I've
right?
just
You're
never
above
been
everyone.
just
Hey.
been never been about the Bogan thing. I'm Australian, but I'm not like that Australian.
I think it was a good match. I like the way that the two of them work together. I like the fact that, Mikey has a good set of moves and stuff that he can do. I love his top rope elbow drop. It's a big finishing move for him. But in general, I think that the match quality, like you said, was good. And it's the kind of thing that it's good for these kind of slam shows where you get a a good talker out early so they can cut a promo and stuff and get the crowd invested, which Mikey did after the match. But you also have two really good workers in Dazza and Mikey that can put on a good, 10 minutes or so to get the crowd straight in.
Oh, and they revved them up real good to start with. Yeah.
Exactly.
Excellent way to start the night, for sure.
Everyone was into it. And yeah, afterwards, obviously, Mikey Broderick, he got the win after his top shelf elbow drop, and then proceeded to grab the microphone and demanded that he, at the end of the night, he was going to issue a challenge to whoever the best wrestler in Slam was.
He said specifically best pro wrestler.
The best pro wrestler. So, obviously he's talking about the match between Ricky South and Luke Watts. So we'll get to what happens later on. But yeah, he issued that challenge and said, look, if you don't make it, I'm going to come out here and demand it. So, but yeah, great match to start the night and really got the crowd straight into it. And Ainslie Football Club, I don't know what it is, but it always feels like the crowd's just a little bit hotter than at the Southern Cross Club.
It's just got that special feeling. Because as we mentioned, it's the home of Slam.
It's the OG.
And
But also it feels like those that purchase the ringside seats are purchasing them for a reason, because it seems like the crowd is always really, really loud on the edges.
Yeah.
And
It's always that front row opposite us.
yes,
Whenever
we're at the back
we're at
hiding,
Ainslie.
yelling stuff,
Yeah.
and they're at the front row banging everything. Yeah.
Oh man, they were hanging over the rail. They were getting into it. They started quite a few chants, that the group you're talking about. And
It was good fun.
oh mate, it's great because obviously it takes a good crowd to make it as well. Like it's not just a good match, good wrestlers in the ring. You need to have a hot crowd. And it looks like Slam fans delivered again. So pat yourselves on the back. Pat yourself on the back, Reece.
That was a
Too many
tremendous job.
cans. Oh, tremendous. All right, so the next match we had was actually
You're too
Caveman
sweet,
Ugg.
Dan. You're too sweet.
Caveman Ugg versus your boy. You're not worthy.
I'm not worthy. We are not worthy
The
to be in the
monarch-
presence of the monarch of the mat.
King Vance.
King Vance.
Now, this was a pretty brutal match. It was one big meaty man slapping some man meat there for a while. One thing that amazes me actually about Caveman Ugg is a boy of that build and the way he moves in the ring.
Yeah.
He just throws himself around. He's very athletic, and I don't really know how he does it.
Maybe
Practice makes perfect.
Maybe it'd be
I'd
good
say
if someone of us had a chat to him and found out how eloquent he actually was.
Well,
Yeah.
it's funny you say that because after Caveman Ugg got the win over King Vance, Reece was actually lucky enough to catch up with him after it. And
I don't know.
was able to ask him a question and see what he felt about the match.
Check this out. Ladies and gentlemen, we are here at the Down Under the Mat podcast. We've got the Caveman Ugg with us. Caveman Ugg, have you got anything to say about your victory over King Vance?
Do you know how difficult it was to try and film that? I was giggling my ass off at him, and I was like, "Oh, that's perfect."
If you don't TikTok that, I swear to God.
Yeah, that was
It was very well spoken by Ugg.
pretty confronting. I'm not gonna lie.
Can I just say, he's such an articulate man.
Absolutely.
Yes. Oh, definitely. As you mentioned earlier, as a public servant, I could never articulate with such grace.
And you just did. That was another great match. I think the crowd was really into it. They were really behind Caveman, and I think I'm loving.
There were a select few behind our king.
Oh, dude, no, but I was just about to say, I think Vance is now up there in terms of heels for Slam.
Yeah.
Him, Dan Archer, who we'll get to later as well, and Mikey are all doing really good work as the heels in
You say
Slam.
they're doing top shelf work.
Oh, I see what you did there.
I see. So I'm loving King Vance, man. He rolls up the crowd. He's got that aura about him.
He really
I'm
does.
better
He's,
than you.
he's just got that look and just the way that he presents himself as well. It's just like sometimes I feel like maybe he's not playing a character, and that's just who he is.
Maybe he's just a king.
Maybe he is. Anyone who might know Vance personally, let us know. Is it a character or is he just rocking up and doing his own
he's
thing?
just doing a rock. He's playing himself and he's just turning it up.
Oh, well, it's turning up to 11. Yeah, okay.
But look, another great match. Again, I think the crowd was just as much into this one as they were the one before.
I love the rug chants. They're my favourite.
Oh, rug. But
I'm pretty sure we're the only ones that do that.
I don't care.
I'm just letting you know, dude, from now on in, you are the sole UGG reporter. You're the only one asking him questions, bro.
Right.
Because
I
I
can live with
don't
that.
think I have enough pairs of underwear to go and interview him.
And to be fair, I don't think he does either. He's a caveman. So he's...
No, he doesn't even have underwear.
What was Greg's line? He's just jealous of Vance because you've got a place to live.
Yeah. And I said to him,
rude on a cave,
but a cave is a home.
Yeah.
Like, you know, geez, a bit rough,
Come on,
isn't it?
Greg.
And then we got on to Bronson United. Well, not Bronson United. It was just Vinnie Bronson.
Well, Josh was
barred
banned
from
versus
ringside.
Cyclone Jr. Josh was barred from ringside after his antics at the last show.
And there were some pretty big antics at the last show,
Oh,
too.
exactly, mate. He got involved. So it was interesting to see that he wasn't here. What I loved about this match, though, was that we were over in the corner with all those other loud guys we were talking about before that definitely wasn't us. Yeah, and we were joined by Cyclone Jr.'s biggest fan in his lucha mask and his slam finger.
He was acknowledging his tribal chief.
Man, he was, lucha, lucha, lucha.
We started a lucha chant. That was fun.
And he joined
That was good
us. It was great, and we were having a great time. Cyclone was really giving it to Vinnie. He was getting, what is it? Was it the inside term? Wrestling from underneath, I believe, Reece, is the term. You don't even know that.
That is the correct terminology.
Thank you,
Yes,
Daniel.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Just call him the underdog.
Yeah, but wrestling from under is when
If you're going to be a real mark, man, come on.
Or maybe I'm not a real mark.
He's
You
not a real
definitely are,
mark.
bro.
I'm just the history nerd.
Yeah, he's not wearing
That's what a mark
enough
is.
deodorant. Specifically, Lynx Africa. He needs to wear more Lynx Africa to be a proper.
No, but isn't the fact
Never.
that you don't wear deodorant, that's what makes you one?
So I can't be a mark because I do wear it.
Exactly.
Oh, okay.
Because I'm an
Anyway,
adult.
back to the
Ruining
match.
the stereotype.
So Vinnie Bronson, very brawling type against the lucha antics of Cyclone Jr. And Cyclone looked like he was going to be on top right near the before the end of this match with some moves to the outside. But then decided our friend, the Lucha Mask, went down to hug him at the side of the ring, pushes Cyclone Jr. into the turnbuckle.
Could not believe it.
Vinnie Bronson took advantage and locked Cyclone Jr. into the London Eye, and Cyclone was out of it. He was just completely knocked
Done
out.
for.
Ref called
Out for
for
the
the
count.
bell. And let's have a couple of guesses at who the Lucha fan was.
Well,
Was
he got invited into the ring. How lucky!
Apparently, he bought a ticket.
Wow, and he was going to show everybody that he had a ticket, just in case they were querying.
And it was on his phone.
It's on his phone.
In case you haven't guessed it, it was Josh,
Josh.
of Bronson United. And now, before we go
be
any
fair.
further, we must point out, because this
Yes.
keeps getting brought up.
Yeah.
Josh from Bronson United is not the same Josh as Ned and Josh's podcast.
No, they
No,
look
it's
completely
two
different.
people.
They are not the same person, and it's absolute slander towards the good man that is Josh on the Ned and Josh podcast against that scum Josh from Bronson United. You cannot compare
Two
the
different
of them.
people.
They're so different.
And
I
we-
don't
we
understand
can-
how people
We can
associate them.
1000% corroborate this because
Yeah, we were there.
We will put a video up in a second ago where Ted and Reece did have a chat to Josh from Bronson United.
Yeah.
And then the end of the night, when we were packing up, there was a big Ned and Josh podcast sign because they were obviously sponsors of the Fantastic Slam event. We had a chat to Josh.
Yeah.
Different person.
Two different people,
different
man.
person, different
And
personality.
we'll show you here. So here's our interview where we caught up with Vinnie Bronson and Josh from Bronson United after the match. Booker Ted here with Bronson United, Vinnie and Josh. Vinnie, you were able to get the victory over Cyclone Jr. tonight. How are you feeling about it, mate?
Teddy Bear, absolutely ecstatic, isn't it? Like, I was never in doubt. Like I said in the ring, I took him from a Category 5 Cyclone down to a mere tropical depression, and I don't think we'll see the likes of Cyclone Jr. for a very long time. Maybe next severe weather season, as you Aussies call it.
Look, that's a lot of talk, Vinnie. The only problem I have is that your friend Josh got involved from the crowd when he was banned from ringside. Josh, what were you doing there? You're banned from ringside. What were you doing there?
There's no law against congregating in a public space. I had a ticket, all above board. And you know what? Vinnie, as he accurately put it, it was a tropical cyclone into a tropical depression. There's nothing tropical about it because even the depression in a tropical situation has a little drink, an umbrella. I was just depressed. I had to put an end to Cyclone.
I don't even know how to respond to that. That was very articulate, and they shut me up. But, I mean, are you not worried that there might be ramifications from the board of directors?
Listen, don't you think we're worried for a minute about the board of directors? They banned Josh from Ringside. We find a way around it, don't we? We will always outthink, outsmart, and outplan whatever obstacles the board of directors put in our way. So whatever nonsense they may say from this, doesn't matter. Bronson United is only getting stronger and better.
You heard it here first from Bronson United, Vinnie and Josh. Thank you very much, guys. Down Under the Mat podcast.
And look, boys, as you can see, that is not the same Josh.
Different person.
No,
Completely different. But I tell you what, they've got to be careful here because this is the second victory that Vinnie has gotten from very controversial circumstances. Josh getting involved. I mean, there's got to be more sanctions coming, surely.
Maybe, but again, no rules were broken. That's exactly what Josh had said, was that he didn't break any rules, he didn't do anything illegal.
But I mean, he did jump the rail, and if I bought a ticket
He
and
never
pushed
ju- he
Cyclone
did-
He
Junior
never
into a
jumped the
turn
rail.
He did after the bell.
He was
He
invited into
was
the ring by
invited
Vinnie.
in.
He even said so himself.
It's a technicality.
Yep.
Okay, so next time Tommy Knight invites one of you into the
I'm
ring,
jumping into that
you're
ring.
jumping in.
Yeah, for sure.
I'll take him on.
Let's go.
I'll take him on.
I would be quite comfortable that if any security guard tried to get me out, Tommy Knight would help us. Yeah, I back Tommy Knight in that situation. It's
No,
fine.
but I'm
Don't
more
worry about
meant he likes to invite people into the ring when they talk crap to him.
it. Oh yeah, I wouldn't do
He goes,
that.
come on in, buddy. Let's try it out.
No, I wouldn't do that one.
So as you can see, Bronson United got the win again. Josh is coming up with more ways to get involved, and it'll be interesting to see who can get some comeuppance on Bronson United in the future. What did you think of the match in general? Did you guys enjoy the interference from Josh, our lucha friend?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, 100%.
I think it was a good angle. I like it.
Yeah.
I think Cyclone Junior is improving.
Yep.
And I
Yeah.
think Vinnie is an established person to allow to sort of give him a bit more time with.
Yeah.
Give it a little bit longer, and I think Cyclone Junior will be more. I mean, he's fairly over, I think, but I think
he's
his
pretty
movesets and stuff, a bit more practice, a few more academy events and stuff, he'll be pretty good.
Awesome. Looking forward to seeing a bit more. So then we got on to one of the title defenses of the night. So we actually got into our tag match, which was the Velocities, Jude and Paris defending their titles against North Shore Wrestling, Will Kettis and Sam Osborne. Did they get a reception
Mate,
on entrance?
No.
just the amount of we hate Sydney and we hate Manly chants
Yeah.
and stuff. I tried to get a Tom Trebojevic chant going, that didn't
Nah.
quite happen.
Nah, bro, come on. They were even wearing manly colours.
They were,
You're just
they were.
asking for it, mate. Like,
that's the
you
point.
know,
They're North Shore.
Exactly.
They're better than you and they know it.
Baby.
They do know it. Look, I absolutely love the tag matches.
Yeah.
They're always an absolute favourite. And the Velocities, they can't seem to have a bad match.
No. Not at all.
Those two are because they're smaller than pretty much every other tag team they go against. They always have that underdog feel to them, and I think those two are the best in the business right now at the hot tag.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
At just can we get to? And the amount of times they do that where the guy in the middle is holding one of them up and they're reaching and they can't quite get
It
it.
was just perfect.
Every time they do it, it's just so well done. They're so good at that spot.
But I have to do a shout out to the North Shore boys because it's been interesting at Slam when we've had tag teams that have come to challenge for the titles or have tag matches where we haven't seen them before.
Yep.
It has been at times there's been some lukewarm receptions, not sure, but they got a lot of heat and they were
did.
doing it quite well.
I
Like,
mean,
they
being-
were really playing the crowd up.
Being Manly, like, it's just expected. Everyone just jumps on board.
Well, it's just the idea of just the North Shore.
Yeah.
But I have seen Will wrestle a couple of times in PWA. So he was on the show when I was in Sydney and stuff last year. So they've obviously quite good wrestlers. I think they've got a good tag team. They're in that sort of stable, that North Shore Wrestling stable with, I think Tuckman's in it in PWA. He hangs out with them a fair bit and stuff. So Tuckman.
Now, good man Tuckman, he would never associate with such scumbags as the North Shore. Surely
I mean,
not.
look, if they do a
Surely
if they do a shoey with him, he'd be fine.
Oh, then yeah, they'll be
Special
happy with that.
circumstances.
They'll be happy with that.
Good match. Good match. The finish was great. I got a nice footage of the top rope frog splash that won it.
That was a good frog splash.
Yep, it was.
The height on that was
Considering how
immaculate.
close the ceiling was, the amount of height he did get on that.
Yeah.
It was a bloody good finish to an absolutely awesome, and it flowed really well. There wasn't really any down spots in it.
I'm finding that with a lot of the matches they're doing at Slam. They're just so perfectly paced. They keep the crowd engaged throughout the whole match.
Yeah.
And it's just so succinct and it flows really well.
Well,
like every match does.
We had a chat to one of the wrestlers after. We won't name who the wrestler was. We'll keep their identity anonymous for this sake. Redacted for this sake. But they did mention how good the Slam events are from a wrestler's perspective in that it's nicely paced. It's a shortish event. It's only a couple of hours.
Yeah.
You're in, you're out. You know how much time you have for your match. You know you got to hit your spots. You got to leave. Crowds are always really good and it's really well run. And I think these kind of matches also prove that point in that everybody's given the right amount of time. You hit the right sort of moves that you need to hit. You get your story told and you're out.
Yeah.
Well, you can tell that too by the wrestlers that continue to come back because obviously we've got our Canberra locals.
Yep.
There's a lot of people. I mean, even Mikey, right? The
fact that-
hometown hero from Perth now.
Yeah.
Comes all the way from Perth to perform and
And that's a shit flight. We all know.
Oh, dude,
dude,
it's-
yeah.
and I've actually had a chat with him afterwards, and he was on the red eye flight too. So,
Oh, really?
Yeah, he
Ooh.
was. So,
Props to Mikey for that dedication to come back so often for us.
we're not booing
Absolutely
you, Mikey. It's
appreciate
everybody
it.
else, man. We know you still love Canberra, brother. All right, 2614. Or was it 2617? I can't remember. It was one of those ones. Sorry, bro.
Keep it kayfabe, Ted.
It is kayfabe. He hates Canberra. So the Velocities got the win, which is absolutely awesome. They deserve to be those tag champions, and can't wait to see who they will challenge. Well, not challenge. They defend against next.
I've got a bit of an idea.
Oh, you're cooking some stories,
Who
are
do you
you?
think?
stories.
Come on, share
No,
with the group. Reece.
Secret. Might get a interview at the next Slam show, and then we'll go from there.
Oh,
I'll tell you after we're done recording, Ted.
Oh,
I told Dan last night. He's like, "Oh yeah,
super
that's
secret.
I totally forgotten already.
Secret. Okay.
It's probably really late.
I actually don't know. This is also. I'm really excited now.
I'm
Let's get
pumped
this
for the
finished so I
idea.
can find out who
I'm
it is.
pumped for the idea. I think it'd be great.
Then we had
Kingsley and the
another.
Backside Girls.
Hey,
Double champ
there'd
Kingsley.
be nothing wrong with that.
Oh,
Two belt Kingsley. And speaking of that, our next match was another title defense. We had Kingsley defending her title against the very favourite Rita Stone.
Yeah.
She's come back again to Slam, and this was a good match. It was a very good match. They're probably two of the best women that we've seen wrestle at Slam, and they're both have been back multiple times. So I think Kingsley, even though she's hated, I think there's a little bit of love-hate with the crowd. With Kingsley.
I
There's
gotta
a
love
lot
to
of
hate
love
her.
I mean, we definitely appreciate Kingsley. We appreciate our inaugural women's champ. I should point out.
Only women's champion so far. Just
Yeah,
keep
that's what
keep
inaugural
holding.
is.
Yeah, no, keep holding it.
Oh,
lose
mate.
it.
Well, what's funny is she actually did defeat Rita Stone in somewhat
Don't say-
controversial
don't say
controversial.
circumstances. But if you listen to this interview that Reece got with Kingsley, she actually explains to us how it's really not that controversial.
Yeah,
So
we got educated.
here it is in Kingsley's own words.
Ladies and gentlemen, Rowdy Roddy Reece here from the Down Under the Mat podcast. We are here with our reigning Slam Pro Wrestling Women's Champion, Kingsley. Managed to pick up the victory tonight, potentially controversial circumstances. What have you got to say?
Controversial. I spilled the tea. It's in my resume. Everyone knows I do this, and they're dumb not even considering it even happening. Like, hello?
I'm sorry.
Like,
I'm sorry.
did you forget? You seem to have forgotten as well. So, I spilled the tea, and that's the tea. Remember that. Go.
All right. Well, what have you got to say about potential future challenges that you might have at Slam Pro Wrestling?
I'm not threatened. I don't really care much for them. I think I'm going to be sitting really pretty steady with my Slam Women's Championship for a very long time. And if someone wants to challenge me, go ahead. The results are going to be the same as usual. Me, the winner, the champion, Kingsley.
Well, you heard it here on Down Under the Mat podcast first. Thank you for tuning in. And thank you, Kingsley, for tuning in as well.
Go away.
Well, look, I tell you what, boys. I think she's got a point.
Yeah,
She does.
Yeah.
She's right.
It's in her resume.
I'm
it's
convinced.
in the name.
Like,
what do you say?
It literally says spill the tea.
Yep.
That's what she does. She spilled the tea.
I mean, look,
I mean, look. The problem is, right? If you're in the middle of a wrestling ring, right, and you've got tea in your hand, and then you accidentally slip, right, and you spill it, it's
goes
not
everywhere.
Kingsley's fault that Rita had to turn around and walk straight into that tea. It is not Kingsley's fault.
that's true. That's true.
is
And
very true.
maybe it could have been the ref's fault. He was the one ripping her belt out of her hands, and then she just happened to spill some tea. I mean, come on, man. It happens.
We can't deny it.
But it'll be interesting to see if anyone can take down Kingsley for that women's title. Because she's got a pretty firm grip on it.
She does. It'd be very interesting. There's a few women's talents across Australia that we'd love to see come to Slam.
Oh, I
Yeah.
think there's
There's
couple
one
of
that
them.
we definitely
There's
want
one
to see.
particular that we've been chomping at the bit to
Hasn't
get.
made a Slam appearance yet, but fingers crossed, some magic gets worked.
Yep.
Does it rhyme with belter?
Oh, give Delta the belter.
Delta's gonna kill
That's
you.
a tremendous one, Ted.
For anyone who hasn't seen Delta from
Look her up.
Right City Wrestling.
Right City, thank
In
you.
Adelaide.
Right City in Adelaide.
Same place Rio
Just
came
go and
from.
Google her right now and go check out Delta. She is awesome. If we could get her at Slam, mate, you need to be there. You need to see it.
Before she gets picked up by somewhere overseas.
Yeah, before she goes. Yeah. Never goes
Oh,
back.
because it'll definitely happen. That's
Yeah.
for sure. So yeah, look, another great match. Kingsley is obviously still the champ. Rita Stone though put on an awesome performance and can't wait to see her come back as well. Then we got on to our Dan Archer versus Hugh Beauty. Now
what a
Dan
match.
Archer, I've got to say, we've spoken a bit of crap about Dan Archer in the past.
A bit's an understatement.
And we've been a bit rough on him on social media, but I'm starting to turn, boys. I
He's growing on us.
He is growing.
think he's a very reputable Canberra-based wrestler.
Yes.
Can I say?
Very reputable.
And I'm definitely not biased in saying that. There's no reason for me to all of a sudden jump on his bandwagon. I promise you.
no, that's fair. That's fair.
He's just a good wrestler.
Oh,
and he
absolutely.
deserves better.
The other Dan wants to get a Dan shirt.
I'm gonna buy a Dan Archer shirt. That's for sure. I know that he watches our podcast. I know he loves this. I do want to ask because we forgot to ask this last night. Is he's gone from
Pants?
pants to trunks.
Yes.
And I want
Interesting change.
I want to ask Dan if that's because he wants, needs little Archer to breathe a bit better. Like, I'm not sure on why that was the choice, but I mean, it looks good. Looks great. Like, he pulls it off. Obviously better than I ever
Mate,
could.
he's wearing it now because he doesn't miss leg day, bro. I mean,
Yeah, I was
he's
going to
not-
say, he just
you
wants to
know,
show off his quads.
He's jacked.
They're
He's
immaculate.
absolutely jacked. But look, poor Hugh Beauty. They put on a great match, and Hugh Beauty did get the line in length and actually got the referee
He got
to
the
give
how's that?
him out. And I think that was my favourite moment from the...
That was great.
Because the crowd was so behind it. They did the build-up, and the
And the
ref
ref's just there and he's just like, what do I do? And he's just like...
But he held
pumps
off.
it
He
up.
held off long enough just to build that anticipation, and then
So
Dan
well done.
coming out of the corner and grabbing him by his shirt. But what do you mean? I'm not out. Oh, absolutely brilliant! But a great finish with Hugh Beauty trying to do a crossbody off the top rope. Dan was able to catch him and put him into the paradox.
Archer's Paradox, yeah.
Archer's paradox.
Most vicious move in Slam Pro Wrestling
And
at
was
the
able to
moment.
get the win. And after the match, we actually caught up with both of them. We caught up with Hugh Beauty because obviously he's on a bit of a losing streak at the moment. So we wanted to see how he was feeling.
It's unfortunate because he's a bit of a crowd favourite.
Well, exactly.
bit of a crowd
He's
favourite.
very over. He's
Crowd was very
over.
loud for Hugh.
So I'm very excited to see what he's going to have in future. And we actually asked him himself what's in store for Hugh Beauty and how he was feeling.
Hey guys, I'm here with Hugh Beauty, the absolute favourite of the crowd here at Slam in Canberra. Hugh, unfortunately, you weren't able to pick up the victory. What's next for Hugh Beauty, mate?
Yeah, I don't know. I've had a lot of losses lately. That was a singles loss. I had a tag loss. I had rumble losses. So, hopefully the board keep me around because, I've had a few lackluster performances. But I've got to remain true to what I am. I'm a good sport. I'm the best and fairest. So, May 25th, if the board will have me back, I'd be glad to go toe-to-toe with anyone.
I think you're being very modest there, Hugh, because let's not forget that in that Rumble, you almost went bell to bell. It was only Ricky South with some dirty tactics, shall we say, that actually cost you the Rumble. So surely your next victory can't be far away.
Yeah, well, hopefully. He's had my number, and obviously he put up a stellar performance in the main there. Could have been me, though. Could have been me. I was this close so many times. But, hey, next time, we'll get him next time.
I'm sure the crowd would have much preferred to have seen you than Ricky in that ring, Hugh. Thank you so much for your time, and we'll see you at the next show here at Slam. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Cheers.
So look, boys, as you can see, I mean, I think he's maybe lost a little bit of confidence. He's had a couple of losses.
Definitely looks a little dejected in that.
He definitely
but,
does.
like you think about, when Australian athletes like Hugh Beauty are at their backs to the wall, like Michael Bevan in that one-day game, where it's like there's no chance for Australia to ever win this game, and then he gets all the way through and he hits those final runs off the last ball. It's the Australian way.
The Australian way, Stephen Bradbury, mate.
Stephen Bradbury.
Wait until
Michael
everyone
Bevan,
else falls
throw him out
over
there.
and slide over the finish line for
That's
gold.
what Hugh's got to channel. Channel is like Stephen Bradbury.
But look, as I said, I think he
I
was
like
a
that
little
metaphor.
bit. I think he was a little bit harsh on himself because don't forget he did go from start to finish in that Slam Rumble. He unfortunately was just taken out by
a weak-gutted dog.
That weak-gutted dog,
bloody
Ricky South. So
Ricky South.
I think and Dan Archer. As
We only
said
like
before,
one Ricky in Canberra, and that's Stewart.
Yeah, he's
not
the
South.
only. He's the only Ricky. We'll get to him in a minute. But Hugh Beauty, I can see big things coming for Hugh Beauty. I don't think this is going to be too much of a roadblock for him. I mean, and Dan Archer, very reputable wrestler. And
is he?
You'll see that here actually because we caught up with him too after this match just to see how he was feeling after his victory over Hugh Beauty.
Booker Ted and Rowdy Reece here with the full draw, Dan Archer, who got the victory tonight. Somewhat
Convincing victory too.
fairly, yeah, which is a bit of a shock, Dan. I mean, what do you say to that? It wasn't in controversial circumstances, which I think the crowd was a bit shocked at, that you actually were able to pull off the victory against Hugh Beauty.
Well, as you know, none of my victories are in controversial circumstances. Tonight went exactly to plan. The Archer's Paradox pile driver put away Hugh Beauty 1, 2, 3. And I expect you'll see quite soon my name announced at the top of the Slam Power Rankings, and I'm hoping the Slam Board of Directors gets that news out ASAP because I'm very excited to finally get my hands on the gold, baby.
Well, if you do get that shot at the title, Dan, I don't know if the crowd will be behind you. Do you think you could take out Luke Watts if you get that opportunity?
Mate, Luke Watts, no man in professional wrestling has beaten Luke Watts in this country more than me. I've beaten him almost in every state. I've beaten him here in Slam twice. And I will do it again if I get the shot. Board of Directors, if you're watching this, and I know you watch this podcast, it's a very reputable podcast. If you're watching, listen to these guys. They're going to tell you, put Dan Archer in the Slam Championship match now.
Can't argue with that statement, mate, I tell you. Thank you, Dan Archer. The full draw. We're going to back you down onto the mat podcast. Give him his title shot. Luke Watts, look out. He's coming for you.
Draw pose going.
Now, boys, it's hard to argue with those words.
I mean, it is. It's also hard to argue the fact that every time we interview Dan Archer, he gets bigger and bigger each time.
He's huge.
It's confronting.
The Slam sponsors are putting in some good effort on him because he's getting some ring shape.
But look, it's hard to argue with the fact that, he's a reputable wrestler. We're a reputable podcast. I mean, the man just speaks truth.
Facts don't lie.
I can't argue with the man. Look, I'm loving Dan Archer's work at the moment, man. Seriously, he comes out, does his bit, needs absolute silence.
Never
gets
gets
the job
it.
done. No, he never gets
the
it. Never
silence.
gets it. The Slam
Give the
crowd.
man his respect
Yep.
and give him some silence so he can focus and get the wins.
Maybe we should send
Get
Dan,
the wins up.
Dan Archer to New Japan. That'd be perfect. For him.
Because he would get his silence.
He would get absolute silence.
He could be best career form of his life if he goes over there.
Mate, he'd go on a streak.
Could be the next Will Ospreay.
Dan Archer versus Will Ospreay, maybe.
Sign me up.
I'd pay to see that. I'd pay to see that.
Let's get a crowdfund going to get Will Ospreay over here.
Let's do it, man.
I'm sure Tony Khan would let him just go for a little bit.
Yeah, why not?
Just go for a world tour.
Look, I just think the Slam crowd, we need to start getting behind Dan Archer.
We do.
We
do.
Stop booing the man.
He is the future of Slam Pro Wrestling League.
I do.
And we need to jump on board now.
I have to appreciate
behind him.
the way he sells and his squeals. And when
Always love it.
when he was put in the submission hold and he was squealing out to try.
I'm just gonna. The submission. I'm pretty certain it's the square leg.
I
think it's the square leg. Again,
The legs
Hugh
did
Beauty,
look pretty
feel free to correct us. But if I had to hazard a guess, I think it's the square leg figure lock or something along those lines. Yeah. For anyone who doesn't know cricket, you won't get that
The
reference.
square leg lock.
If anyone doesn't like cricket, you probably don't get much of Hugh Beauty's references to.
So you should watch more cricket and get it because he's an
Cricket's
absolute
not that
legend.
bad. It's not that bad. Just sit there, do things while you're watching the cricket.
Pretty much, it's always on in the
Multitasking.
background, mate. That's the whole point of cricket in the summer. Is it's
And
just
then,
on
and then
in
you
the
just go,
background.
hey, with the TV.
That's a wicket.
Yeah.
All right, so
Easy.
we get to our main event, the Slam Championship. We have Luke Watts defending the title against the winner of the Slam Rumble, that dirty, filthy, weak gutted dog.
#6 again.
Ricky South.
Get out of here, you dirty paraphrase.
I loved that the night before this happened. Obviously, you boys are Raiders fans. Ricky South is very well aware that the Canberra, the Slam fans are predominantly Raiders fans.
Yes.
Posts up on his Instagram watching the the Warriors beat the Raiders. Up the Wars. #6 again.
That's painful, man.
He's just right into the heartstrings for you boys.
There's only one Ricky we love in Canberra, and that's Sticky Rick.
It's Ricky Stanicky. Actually, we need to watch that movie. We haven't seen it.
We do actually need to watch that movie. So, look, obviously, there was a little bit, like, Ricky was really getting into the crowd here and taking the mickey out of Luke Watts as well.
Well, and we talked about the vocal boys on the other side at Ringside.
Oh, they were just
when
giving it to
this
him.
went outside the ring and they were sort of brawling on the outside and they were slapping, Luke and Ricky were slapping each other right in front of the crowd. I actually thought from outside that one of the dudes just like slapped Ricky from behind.
Yeah, I thought it was going to as well.
Yeah.
I was actually worried. I thought, oh man, they're really close. Like, is someone going to take a swing?
Yeah.
Or like grab at someone and there's going to be a CM Punk punch crowd moment or something? Like, it was
proper brawl.
But again, the crowd was super, super hot. And there was moments where I think the crowd was slightly worn out from the rest of the night because there was a little bit of quiet, but they were able to get them back on their feet again.
Yeah.
Because all the matches, like now that I think back on it, the crowd was hot
all
for
night.
every single
Yeah.
match.
It really felt like it was just constant noise all night. Like everyone was just on the edge of their seat cheering.
But I mean, that's also the good thing when, like, we talked about how Slam books a smaller show because it's 2 hours while you're in there, but it's really like an hour and a half of wrestling sort of thing. You can be hot at 100% volume and everything for an hour and a half. When you look at some of the bigger events, WWE and stuff, we saw Elimination Chamber was like for 4 hours or so.
Yeah, it's a long time.
That was tiring.
You can't be up yelling that entire time. There was a Slam show, and the fact that you got bars in there right next to you can get a refill between matches pretty quickly.
Exactly. And they still fit a 15-minute intermission in there too.
Yeah.
So
for signing, which
which
is
absolutely awesome.
We had one of our friends, Scotty, bring his little boy out for the first time for the wrestling, and he loved it. Standing at the
had a
fence.
great time.
They
got
bought
a
one of
photo with the Slam tag belt.
Yeah, shout out to the Velocities for getting the photo with him. He absolutely loved that. That was his favourite with the 2 tag belts.
I mean, like, we haven't even touched any of those belts yet.
No, we're not worthy.
Lockie's
Fair
got
point.
one. Lockie's got one with the Slam title when Mikey had it.
But in saying that, that's one thing I've definitely noticed, and I don't know, maybe it was because it was back at Ainslie, but I think it's just in general, way more kids. There's way more families, way more kids coming along, which is awesome, man. And I think this was mentioned by a couple of the wrestlers we've spoken to, that the fact that it's very much a family show. There's obviously some chanting sometimes. We should warn parents that there is still some chanting that you might not want your kids to hear. Just be aware that is going to happen sometimes.
We started a couple, but those were mostly PG. There was the one in the tag match for the North Shore guys because Will Curtis is known as the Anchor Man.
Yeah, we were calling him the Wanker Man.
Yep, that was pretty loud chant.
I mean,
I think that was just easy.
if you take your child to any sporting event, or
You just gotta
anything,
expect
you
it.
got to
It's
expect that
just-
there's going to be a "You are a wanker" chant.
Yes.
It's
Yeah.
Australia. It's Australia.
That's what we do.
But I do love the fact that there's so many kids coming along and watching it and getting involved.
And a lot of the kids are there for the hope from the top rope for Luke.
Yeah.
Like, he does have a very big crowd support for that.
Definitely. Lots of the sunnies, lots of signs.
Lots of
That's one thing
shirts.
I'm loving is the signs, actually. Some of the signs that have been
The
done
one,
up.
just the one in front of us, the Mikey
The
one.
Mikey one.
Oh, great sign.
Dude, it was so good. I saw it. He actually signed it for the kid
top
afterwards,
notch.
which was awesome. So
Top notch.
we haven't done signs for a while. I think we need to maybe jump on that bandwagon again at the next show. There was a couple I wanted to do, but I just ran out of time. So
Old Teddy doesn't have any time.
No, last week too, mate. I have been out of time. But look, great way to end the night. Ricky South and Luke Watts pulled off probably one of the most perfect
The cleanest looking
shooting star press. We do actually have footage of it,
We do.
I believe. I'm going to try and sneak it in here
Okay.
as a smaller bit. I don't know.
Just
where.
someone put it around
So
somewhere.
you can see how beautiful.
If you want, mate, just put it over my ugly mug. Just for
gotta
a
be an
couple
improvement.
seconds.
Oh, I could do that, yeah. But I mean, we've got space up here somewhere, you know.
Over here, over there.
Anyway, check it out.
Moving on.
It was a beautiful, beautiful shooting star press to get the 1, 2, 3, to get the win, to retain the Slam Championship. And after the match, obviously Luke was celebrating and he was interrupted by Mikey Broderick's music.
Shelf.
So out came Mikey.
Had a little
shoves
face
past
off.
him,
Had a little face off.
gets into
Teasing
the
some
ring,
tension.
gets a microphone and says, hey, what's going on, Slam Board of Directors? I said earlier that I wanted to challenge the best wrestler in Slam Wrestling. I should be at the top of the power rankings. This is how it works. What have you done for me? And then we had an announcement from...
Cyclone Jr. came out. No, it didn't.
We had an announcement from the Slam Board of Directors.
Some would say it is a tremendous announcement.
Tremendous announcement.
Oh, God. Well, some would say that at the next show, business
Will
might
be
be
booming.
booming. We saw a video package from Slex accepting Mikey Broderick's challenge of facing the best there is in Slam Wrestling.
Best there was, best there ever will be.
So May 25th? May 25th?
May 25th.
At the Southern Cross Club.
In Woden.
In Woden.
It's
It
outside.
will be
Yes.
Mikey Broderick
Broderick.
versus Slex 3.
And I am super keen for this because, as I mentioned to you boys before we came on, this was actually the first main event match that Morgan got to see.
Maybe I'm cooking.
Oh, you're cooking something, are you?
Well, if it's the third match, maybe we should have a match type that has 3 different weapons in it.
Oh. Best of 3 falls? 2 out of 3 falls match?
No,
3 stages of hell?
TLC.
A TLC match.
Tables, ladders, and
Couldn't fit a ladder in the Ainslie Club, that's for sure.
I mean, I have to admit, man, their last match for that no DQ for the
missed that,
title.
man.
Oh,
Because that was the one.
I'm so mad I
that
missed
was
that
a
one.
banger. It was an absolute banger.
That was
one of my
where
favorites.
Slex put Mikey through the table with the bin on top of it, right?
Mikey put Slex through the
Mikey
table
Slex
to
through
get
the
the
table,
win.
yes,
Yeah,
yes.
and also put the bin over
Over
his
the top,
head and
yeah.
kicked him with it. Yeah,
Oh, that was a good
No,
match.
the whole match
Love it.
itself was just brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. It's one of my favorite Slam matches of all time. So I'm super looking forward to Mikey versus Slex again on May 25th. And hopefully we'll see a lot more of you there again because obviously it's a bit of a bigger capacity at the Southern Cross Club. So hopefully there won't be anyone missing
Reece has
out.
been saying he's been cooking all show.
Yeah, come on, man. You've been cooking. Serve it up.
give us. Well, I mean, we obviously know the next show is going to have the Mikey versus Slex match.
Yeah.
Who's Luke wrestling? Who's
Luke
Luke
wrestling?
going to have to defend his title against? We've had Ricky. He won the Rumble.
Who have we got?
Who
I don't want Dan yet.
You don't think Dan yet?
We've got to wait and see these power rankings when they come out now, see?
That's a good point.
That's what we got to pay attention to.
Yeah, okay.
Power rankings.
Well, Dan Archer's got to go up on the power rankings, right?
Oh, he's going up. for
Another
sure.
win.
Yeah.
A strong,
Vinnie
emphatic
won
win
again as
by
well.
Dan.
He's even said when he was chatting to us that he should go back up in those rankings.
That's true.
Have we had a triple threat for the title yet? I wouldn't mind seeing a triple threat title match.
Well, that'd be
I mean,
interesting.
Caveman Ugg's undefeated, isn't he?
Quite possibly, yeah.
Oh.
Any one of those 3, I think.
And then you've got some of the guys that weren't there tonight, like Robbie Eagles and stuff, that have had good performances every time they've come down to Slam too.
Oh, you could have Robbie Eagles versus Luke Watts round 2. This time for the belt.
Bring the Tuckman down, give the Tuckman. I love the Tuckman.
Ah,
I
Tuckman.
keep throwing
There
love
is
Tuckman.
so much potential.
Yep.
I think we'll have to wait till we see the Slam
Slam
Power
rankings.
rankings
And
to
same for the
figure out
women's,
what's
right?
going to happen.
He's got to get through StarCast first, though, boys. Remember, I think he's got his belt on the line at StarCast.
Yeah, that's right.
Yes.
StarCast weekend after WrestleMania.
Yeah, down in Victoria.
Ballarat gets all the good stuff,
Ballarat.
along with all the bad stuff.
At least it's not Wadja Wadja.
I can't. Why do you keep talking crap about Wadja Wadja, man?
It's so far out of the way. It's annoying.
Why do you think stuff doesn't come to Canberra, Reece? We're also quite out of the way of everything else.
No, we're Australia's capital. Give
Yeah.
us some damn respect.
What's Wadja Wadja got that we don't? Right, we've got a penis owl. Canberra's heaps cooler than anything.
If you don't know what Dan's talking about, the phallus owl,
It's a fantastic landmark of Canberra.
Oh, I was
phallus,
not expecting that.
that's not the word. What am I thinking? Is that the word?
Phallic.
Phallic. The phallic. Yeah, something like that. Phallic owl.
Just go with
Look it up. It's famous.
Wrap it up, man.
What a way to wrap up the Slam Show, talking about the Belconnen Owl. Well, look, that was our wrap up of the Slam Show. It was absolutely awesome. Everyone that was there knows it was awesome. If you weren't there, it's up. I believe it's going to be up on YouTube. They did
Should be, yeah,
actually
they filmed
do
it.
the live stream on YouTube, so you should be able to find that on there,
Yeah.
as well as some other stuff like Rage of the Cage has gotten to over 60,000 views. I don't know if you guys know that. As
No,
well.
it was 600, wasn't it?
Oh, 60.
Or I mean,
60,
am I just
60,000.
Am I just
60,000's
doing
a lot,
some classic
man.
WWE
Yeah,
inflation?
you are.
Yes, you are.
So go check out Slam online and check them out for the tickets for the next show. It's definitely worth it. We don't even know the whole card yet, but we'll be buying our tickets because we know it's going to be good.
Always.
Thank
Say
you.
hi to us if you do.
Yep.
Mr. Daniel,
especially the Lucha fans. We love when they come
oh,
hang out
the
with us.
Lucha fans. Oh, gotta love him. And leave Josh from the Ned and Josh podcast alone. He's not the same guy. He's a good bloke. That Josh from Bronson United, scum. Absolute scumbag. But thank you, Mr. Daniel Danielson.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Rowdy Reece. I'm Booker Ted, Down Under the Mat podcast here around the pool table of relevancy in Madison Square Garage. That's our Slam review. We'll see you for the next one, guys. Two sweets!